As it turns out, the ideas that we're most attracted to are our own ideas. And if you can make your backer feel like they have their fingerprints on your idea, like they're a part of your idea, you can bring them in a way that the likelihood of you being backable far, far greater. A guy by the name of Jake Knapp discovered this inside of Google, of all places. And the reason that he discovered it is because he was a designer at Google at the time when this company was starting to feel really big. And so if you had a new idea inside the company now, it wasn't a startup anymore. You had to get lots and lots of stakeholders bought in. And the idea that he and his team had was the idea which ultimately became Google Hangouts. But it was very, very hard for this idea to be backable. Because what he would do as a designer is he would walk into rooms the way that most designers would do, and he would present a creative vision for Google Hangouts. And he would walk in with these high-fidelity mock-ups. Though, again, the way that most designers would do. He wasn't getting any of the feedback he needed. He wasn't getting any of the approval that he needed, and he became incredibly frustrated. But all of a sudden, that all changed in a single meeting because he was actually running way behind for this meeting, and he didn't have time to actually create these high-fidelity mock-ups, so he took whatever he had with him, which was these low-fidelity wireframes. Now, Jake was kind of embarrassed to put these even up on the screen because, I mean, look at them. They're very, very low fidelity. But he didn't have anything else, so he put it up on the screen, and he was completely surprised by what happened inside the room that day. People were engaged in a way that they had never been engaged before. They were sitting inside a conference room. People were up out of their seats, pointing at parts of the screen, offering new ideas, asking questions, saying, hey, what if we did this? Again, they were engaged in a way they had never been engaged before. And what Jake stumbled upon was one of the most important backable takeaways, which is when you're sharing an idea, share what it could be, but not how it has to be. Now, don't confuse this in any way with not doing your homework or having your idea well thought through. That's not what this is saying. You can do that, but when you get into the room with a backer, you don't have to show it as every detail being fully baked. Because what we're getting at here really is a sense of vulnerability. We often think that we have to show up with our ideas being 100% bulletproof in all ways. But when we do that, we make it harder for backers to be part of the creative process. But when we lower the barriers a little bit, when we ask the backer what they think, when we tap into their expertise, you make a backer feel like they're no longer just a backer, but they're a co-author of the idea.